3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. I am your host, Ben Jaye, and welcome back to another episode of the Creators Lounge Group Chat. So this is going to be a really cool episode. I've known Nate for a minute, and we started talking on a live stream, and it kind of led to what's happening right here tonight with this recording. Yeah. So to begin with, we need some introductions. So for the audience watching, people who don't know who you are, just go around, have everybody give a quick introduction. Nate, we'll start with you, then we'll jump to Sapphi, and then we'll end up with Primal. So Nate, give an introduction. What's your name? Where are you from? What do you do?
All right. My name is Nate. I'm from North Carolina, and I make music under Echo Drone. I own Echo's Collective, and I just be doing music stuff all the time, 24/7.
That's a fact. We'll jump down to Sapphi. Sapphi, what is your name? Where are you from? What do you do?
My name is Kalik. I make music a lot of the time, and I'm from Gary, Indiana.
All right, fantastic. And then we'll go over to Primal. Primal, what is your name? Where are you from? And what do you do?
My name is Hogan. I'm also from North Carolina, and I do reaction review videos on YouTube, and I also produce electronic music.
All right, guys, fantastic. So I guess the combining factor here for all of you guys is that you're all a part of the Echoes Collective. So Nate, give us a little bit of context on the Echoes Collective. What exactly is that project all about?
So Echo's Collective is an imprint label of mine. I started it up a few years ago. I already told you about this. I started it up literally because no labels wanted to take a song of mine. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to start my own. And it just blew up from there pretty much, because it was more of like a friend group thing at first. And then it went into, I started taking it more seriously. I enjoyed doing it. And now it's in the position it's at now. So yeah, that's what it is. It's a music label collective,
right? And I love how it became about, though, because like you said, like it's so hard to get signed by labels. It's so hard to get that recognition, especially in the early stages of music. And so you literally have to do it for yourself, right? You've got to make your own social media content. You've got to reach out to the people by yourself. And it is a long, hard process, but I love the fact that you took the initiative to begin this collective that now gives other people a platform to kind of launch themselves off of. Primal, right. Jumping down to you, Primal, you mentioned doing reaction videos on YouTube. How did that get started for you? When did that come into the picture?
It's kind of funny because I'm known to be a very expressive person, and I think a lot of people understand that now. But I was just sitting laying on my bed watching Night of Bass. If y'all know the reaction goat to dubstep. Unfortunately, he stopped doing videos. He's stopped doing them for like a year almost. But I absolutely loved watching his videos, and also T-Rex Reviews did reaction videos as well. Loved watching them. And so I was like, you know what? I want to start one myself and see how it goes. The main purpose was just because I wanted to capture my first listen to like EPs and albums and stuff that from labels and collectives that I love. And then other people started getting onto it. And the biggest thing that kept me going was when Stuka saw my reaction to his latest Black label EP, Powerhouse. And it made it onto the Never Say Die Instagram page, and then therefore I got like bunches of subscribers and recognition, and it just kept going from there.
And congratulations on that, dude. It's super cool. You start doing something you care about, and if you stick with it, it can lead some really cool places. Sapphi, to jump down to you, dude, give us a little bit of background on your musical journey. When did you get into music production?
Back in 2014, I just started because I grew up around a family where like everybody just made music. My parents were musicians. They started their own group. It was called Epic Music back in around 2007. And I was just around that a lot, and I was interested in music. So around 2013, I saw a guy in a studio, because they were in a studio recording music, and I saw him using FL Studio. And I asked my parents, "Oh, what is that? Can I get it?" And the guy that was using it, he gave me a free copy on a CD. So I loaded it into the computer that we had back at home, just started doing whatever. Started off really, really bad, but after a few years, it was around 2016 where Was it 2016? Yeah, where I first found out about dubstep as a whole. I was interested in the sound design, how to do it, and then that's when I got Massive the first time. I only used presets, and over time it just got better and better. It was more of like a mix between trap and dubstep whenever I wanted to. And then I did a full switch to dubstep in around 2019. It was around the end of 2019. And then that's when I first found out Eliminate. And then a lot happened.
Absolutely,
But-
dude. It's just like a step-by-step process, though. You know, you hear something, you
Yeah.
follow it up, and one thing leads to another. And speaking of one thing leading to another, I am curious actually to jump back to Nate. Nate, how did you meet these guys? How did they get to be a part of the Echoes Collective? What was that about? What was that like?
I'm trying to remember how I met Hogan. I can't remember.
I know, right?
I morely remember than he might. So
Go ahead, Hogan.
Wait, hold on. Wait,
It
wait.
was-
I remember. Expanse,
late-
right?
maybe, but I found you on Label Radar, and I saw that it was from North Carolina. I was like, okay, let me check this out. And then I saw that they had like they released decent music, and they were consistent with their music, like they were active. So I sent over a whole EP, and then yeah, like
So that was
And
for the
that's
Echo.
when-
That was like for one of the Echoes Collective releases, right, Hogan?
correct. Yeah,
Okay,
it was
very good.
Gravity EP.
The Gravity.
Gravity
EP.
EP.
Then over to
Yeah.
you, then Nate. Like, what was that like? You get this whole entire EP submission from Hogan. Like, what was going through your mind when you listened to it?
I just remember liking it, so I took it. I mean, that's basically it. There wasn't like a whole, process about it. It was just,
Sure.
oh, this is cool. Let me put it out, dude.
I fuck
Like,
with it. Let's put it out there. Yeah.
yeah.
Awesome. Got it.
I know I had heard of him from like other small labels that,
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
some friend groups and stuff. And so he sent in an EP, and I was like, okay, cool. So I know this guy, and then I listened to it. It's pretty cool. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take it.
Let's make it happen. Very good. What about for Sapphi then? How did Sapphi get into your ecosphere? Sapphi, do you remember?
Yes.
Go ahead, dude. Share the story.
I hate that I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Dude, there's too many. No, but honestly though, Nate, like it's impossible, dude. Like there's so many people that we get to work with, and so at some point you can't remember all the names. You know the personality, you know the sound. You just can't always remember the name. It kind of becomes like not as important as knowing the personality. I feel like at least. Sapphi, sorry, go ahead.
So it was through the Muscle Memory collab I had with Primal.
Okay.
Like a few months ago. It was December.
Mm,
And at the time, I thought Echoes was an EP that he was going to be releasing. And then I started going through my playlist using Unlimited. Because it said Echoes EP. So I was like, oh, and I thought Breakout meant like, I don't know, going popular or something. So I thought the EP was actually named Echoes. Then I was.
You didn't even tell me this. You did not even tell me. You did not even tell me
Oh
this.
my gosh.
I told you.
The backstory is getting unfolded.
And then I had Echo Drone DM me asking me to sign, and I was so confused. So I asked Primal. He said Echoes is the collective, and I said, oh.
Oh, that's
So
rich.
I signed the thing. I started going through like some of my music using Pro Unlimited, and I saw that he started listening to every single one of them. So I texted Primal. I was like, yo, who is this guy? And then over
Like, hey
time,
Hogan, I got
found
someone
out-
stalking me. what should I do?
That's literally what it was. It's like, oh, this rando is just listening to everything. Like,
Right.
who is he?
That's exactly how it went. And then it was just over time, Muscle Memory got released. Then I'm pretty sure I sent another song. It was named Flow at the time.
Mm.
And then he said, oh, I'm down to take this for issue 03. I was like, huh? And then I went in the Echo server and I saw the deadline was already passed. So I was like, didn't the deadline already pass already? He was like, yeah, but I don't really care. And then
Oh my gosh. Oh shit.
I told everybody, I told their mothers, I told like all of my friends, and they were just excited for me at the time. And then Flow couldn't be used anymore because the first drop didn't fit. It was more of like a color-based thing.
Mhm.
Then it got replaced with Burst. And yeah, just over time I got to know him more, he got to know me more.
Right.
And now we're here.
All right. My gosh, that's wild. Poor Sapphi, he's like super confused the whole time, just like walking through this whole stage of like, what's this? What's that? What's happening? What do I do now?
I had no idea who he was, and I just saw like, oh, Echo Jonas played this, Echo Jonas like that, Echo Jonas played this. I was like, yo, who is he?
No, exactly, Sapphi.
then-
And it's also why it's so important to be active on social media is to be able to communicate, identity about who you are, what you stand for. I feel the same way, dude, about like the different people I talk with. If no one's posted on social media, I'm like, not to be rude, but I'm like, why should I care about you? Or like, who are you? Like, I don't know. I don't trust you. I don't know anything about you. It's so important for people to be, sharing content consistently and just like, kind of telling like the world like who you are. Otherwise, it's harder to build trust with someone, Obviously, in Nate's case, like he's more of like, he does share content. He is out there, he comes on my live streams and shit like that. So it's not that hard if you do a little bit of research. But I think in general, for a lot of creatives, it's really important for us to be pushing ourselves to be more open about, who we are, what we stand for, what we do and everything. Going into creative process, I want to hear about everyone's creative process, how you guys create. So I want to jump to Hogan for this one first of all. Hogan, obviously you can talk about music if you want to, but I'm actually super curious about the reaction videos because a lot of people are uncomfortable showing their face, so they feel uncomfortable about recording videos and putting them out there. If you don't mind, I would really love if you could dig into your creative process for doing reaction videos. What was it like at the start? When did it become comfortable for you? How do you make it work for yourself?
Sure. I haven't really ever had a problem of showing my face on the internet. Actually, I was really into it. I've been making videos for years and years. Like you can find, I have an older channel, a YouTube channel, where I've got faces of me in like 2015, 2014. So his little baby Primal just doing his thing with his Minecraft gameplays, you know what I'm saying? Just doing his thing. But so I was pretty comfortable doing reaction videos, and it was just kind of the inspiration of just me expressing myself throughout the internet and hopefully getting some like sort of following as well. I lost my train of thought. Sick.
You're totally good.
But like, having like people maybe enjoy something that I do, it's not insanely hard. Just be completely honest, because it's just kind of a lot. It's less of a live review. That's why I don't call it a live review. I just call it reaction. But I do want to start getting to review videos as well, kind of like what Joe does. He does both. He does pretty much everything. But yeah, I've just always been comfortable. I think I've definitely gotten more comfortable over this past year. I just hit my 1 year anniversary of just doing reaction videos like every week.
Congrats,
on
dude.
June 5th. So I did like a whole compilation, and people were like, "Oh man, I remember this. This is my favorite reaction." So it's definitely grown into something that I've been looking forward to, and it's also helped me taking my music career more seriously because now I have a lot more followers, right? And so in that case, then they can go to my music. Like I have more people looking at my music, which helps a lot. But the creative process, I kind of went on a
That's really interesting though, dude, and I'm glad. I was just gonna jump in and say that I love how consistent you were with it, right? Because that's one of the biggest things. That's one of the biggest determiners of success is if you're able to stay consistent with your output. And so, for you to be putting out a video every single week, and I don't know, maybe you missed a few weeks. That's totally natural as well. But to overall, in the big picture, like consistently putting out content, it's led to where you are now, and it's so exciting, to get to that 1 year mark, the 2 year mark, and be like, wow, I didn't think it was gonna become this, but now it's this, and to have that sense of pride and everything. So congrats to you on that, man.
Thank you very much. Yeah, Joe has helped me as well. Doing collaboration videos with Joe, and I'm gonna do one with Joe and Cubic soon. The all three of us together. We're kind of like the Three Musketeers kind of thing, because we're kind of the only ones left after Night of Base and T-Rex kind of just stopped doing their videos. But 00 the B, I don't know if you know who he is, but he started doing videos.
Jacob.
There's a couple of other people.
Yeah, Jacob he just launched his recently. I'm so excited to see what plays out for him.
Yeah, he's definitely got a long way to go. I'm excited for him. I'm excited for that. But yeah, doing the creative process of my videos really isn't that crazy. It's just I sit down, pull up my camera. It used to be this stupid camera, and then I bought a camcorder. Like, you know, it looks so much better, 60 frames, you know, that kind of thing. I set it up and I just talk. I'm like, what's up? Today we're going over this and how I know this artist and like if I've liked their music in the past and all that. And then I just listen and give my thoughts on the way, and then I close. That's pretty much it.
I love it, man. That's really cool. Jumping over to you then, Nate. What is your creative process? Obviously, you started with music production, and then at some point you transitioned into doing like the label as well. Whenever you create a new project, whether it's a song or just a new project in itself of like a label or whatever it may be, what is kind of the approach you take to creating content, creating stuff?
The best answer I can give you is that I have no idea. Genuinely. and it sounds like I'm trying to be funny, but like, you know, it gets to a point where you spend all this time perfecting your craft, and eventually it just starts to be, okay, I'm gonna put something together that sounds good. Like, you know, it's like I'm not really too familiar with my creative process. I'll just go in there, I'll be like, okay, I want to make something, and then I'll make something that sounds good. I'll probably flip through some presets and then, you know, get some inspiration from that. But really, it's just, you know, I'm going to put something together and then I'm going to make it sound good. That's basically it. I mean, it's nothing crazy. There's no complicated process. It's just, you know, I'm making stuff.
No, I love that though, dude, because it's so organic, right? Like you don't have to overthink it. It's just who you are, and so you're doing it. And there's no need to, you know, hypothesize or make some kind of formula. You're just like doing your thing. So I love that about you. Sapphi, jumping down to you. How about for you, Sapphi? Obviously, you kind of prefaced your whole journey of like, you know, getting into different kinds of music, hearing dubstep, getting into massive. What is your creative process whenever you're working on a new track?
I just take a random sound I find in like my downloads folder, like because I have like a bunch of just random audios, like of like either songs, whips that I used to make like back in 2015, or just random memes, or I think one time I took one of Primal's vocals that he used in his pack, and I made a
I remember this
song.
I remember this.
It's on the computer GC, not a plug, but it was called Modern Lefts, and because he dared me to do it, so it was just an entire song. I just really like taking something random and just making whatever with it. And it's really fun to do. Or like sometimes I can just load something in a serum and then make something off of that. And that's kind of how I got the glitchy style, which was just pitch automations just all over the place. And that was also what made it like fun to make music, is just that you can do anything with it. And obviously it's risky like releasing it, because like nowadays a lot of people are like judgmental, but if you don't really care, it's just fun, really fun to do.
That's awesome.
So to summarize, there is no magic process. You just do what you want to do, and then it works.
Precisely, Nate. You just fucking get started and you figure it out as you go. I love the fact, Sapphi, that you're not afraid to experiment, right? Because I think a lot of people actually look to have rules and look to have structure and look to follow a formula. But in your case, Sapphi, it sounds more like you were just like jumping into it, being, what does this do? What does this do? How does this sound? What does this do? You know, and that it's so cool that you were able to discover your sound through that experimentation process and to bring it to a place where you are now. The thing I want to look at now for you guys is how I'm interested about how you guys balance your times, especially for Hogan and you, Nate. I'm not sure if Sapphi has to deal with it yet, but for you, Nate, I want to hear about that process of going from being a music producer and then being frustrated with the label situation that you decided to launch your own collective. I want to hear about your transition between those two things and how you balance the time. And then Hogan, for yourself as well, man, I want to hear about for you, what kind of effect does doing reaction videos have on your musical production process? Is it hard to balance them? Is there any kind of like conflict between them? Do they complement each other? So let's start with Hogan, I guess, and jump to Nate afterwards. But yeah, Hogan, if you want to go first, what's the relationship between the reaction videos and your production process?
Well, honestly, since I don't have another part-time job yet, I'm looking for one. But So I have a shit ton of time. So that's why I started reaction videos. Is actually because I had so much time. Well, I had a job, but then I went to college. So then I lost my job, obviously, because I went away. But I'm back home now, so I'm looking for another job to do to get some extra money on the side. So that'll kind of throw off my time management a little bit, but I'm sure I'll be okay. Because doing reaction videos, the recording process doesn't take a super long time unless it's like a big compilation album, like Planet Cyclops. God, that took like an hour. And I hated everything. I was so glad I finished. It was so long. And the editing process was probably like another hour. And then the rendering process, like, you know, like exporting the video.
Yeah.
That took like an hour and a half. And I can't do anything on my computer because if I press a button, it crashes the whole freaking project. So I can't. So I'm just like bored and I'm just like chilling around. So it actually, it depending on how big the video is, it's gonna take a while, but it still will take around a day or like half a day. So it doesn't really affect my musical process. I am a fast worker. Same as Sapphi. I've seen him work. He'll make a drop in like an hour. I don't know how, but I'm a quick worker. So making songs can take from like 2 to 4 hours, sometimes 5. So yeah, I don't really have a huge issue with time management at the moment.
But I'm also curious. I think you kind of mentioned already, but if you want to go deeper on it, I think you mentioned before that you've even learned a bit about production from doing reaction videos. Do you pull inspiration? Is there certain like techniques you're hearing, or am I mistaken on that?
Well, I think you just brought up a thought that is correct, but I've never even thought of myself.
All right.
I think doing reaction / review videos, it does kind of help my like how people do things and like how to like find a certain uniqueness of an artist. Like for example, I'll just pull out an example. Joe B. Like already he has this certain style and you already could tell, like just when I said that name alone, if you guys know who Joe B is, like, you know in your head what he does, like that metallic heavy kind of crap. I don't know, but it's just so good. So but yeah, so it has helped me in a way.
That's good to hear.
Sure.
And I think it's true in general. Like doing research can always benefit ourselves because we can see other people's process and take the important points from it. There's a quote from Bruce Lee. He says, "Accept what is useful, reject what is useless, and add what is specifically your own." And so that kind of process of, you know, looking at humanity, looking at music, looking at movies, and like, you know, taking things from it, you know, letting go of other things and kind of adding your own personal spin to it's always been very beneficial for myself in terms of crafting what I do as well. Nate, jumping over to you then, your transition between being only a music producer to becoming, you know, also running the collective. What was that transition like for you? How did you manage your time? How did it affect your creativity? Give us a little bit of context on that.
I mean, there wasn't really a major shift in my, you know, time management because it was like a really slow transition because, you know, I started it off as, you know, nobody wants to release my music, so it started off, you know, as I said, a friend group thing, so I wasn't really putting all my focus into it. So it's like when I started it up, I was still focusing on my music, but then, you know, it started to take off, and so eventually I ended up shifting my focus over to that. I don't think it really messed me up time management wise. I've never really had a problem prioritizing managing my time and stuff. Sort of relevant, I saw that you did a live with that ADHD profile.
Yes, I did. Right, yeah.
And y'all went over how, you know, and I don't know if I've mentioned it to you, I have ADHD as well.
Okay.
And so you mentioned that I think you mentioned, I don't know, I went through their profile, so it may have been them that mentioned it, but
thanks for watching it, by the way, Nate. I appreciate that. For anyone who wants to see it, ADH Doers on Instagram, you can go check it out. It's on their page. But yeah, sorry, like you were saying.
I went through their page and it was something like, if you have ADHD and it's like ADHD and time management, it's like everything's everywhere all the time. It's like you time manage, but you don't at the same time. It's like you're doing everything at one time. It's hard to explain. I think they explained it well. But it's sort of like that. It's like I don't really have a process. I just somehow get it done.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know?
Oh, I completely
Yeah.
relate, dude. I think one of the ones you're referring to is when it says it's ADHD time. There's right now and there's not now. You're either doing it now or you're just not doing it at all. And it's strange, dude. And I actually didn't even realize that people looked at time differently than I do. And so I'm sure that you relate with it as well. But like, yeah, the way I think about time is very different from, I guess, how other people think about time. Because I'm always like, okay, today's the end of Wednesday, so it's basically Friday morning, which means I got to do blah, blah, blah. And, you know, so you kind of like make a process for yourself. Jumping down to you then, Sapphi, you've kind of been on the go lately and relocating as well. How has that affected your creativity, your inspiration, or even your time management, possibly, perhaps as well?
I've always had time to do everything because, you know, still a minor, still a child, so like I still have like a lot of time to do whatever I can, and everything that I can do before I do becoming a young adult. So, like relocating places, it does sort of help my creativity because, you know, I can see like more stuff I could build off of.
Yep, new environments, new people, new sites, right?
Yeah. And even being in Indiana, it's like I'm just working in a more creative environment because my mom has a rainforest around this house.
That's epic.
It's just a lot. Like I
can kind of see it back there already. So they got some stuff on the wall and the lights and everything.
She has that.
Okay.
It's just all of this. It's actually really nice.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's definitely a creative environment. I love that.
So yeah, it's just been really easy, just like working anywhere and everywhere I can. And I've kind of been excited to move like around a place, you know, just to see more culture. You can see more like places, see what more people do here. And like I've lived here before, but you know, it's still interesting to come back for a little bit. And I'm still excited for Texas and see what more is there to come.
For sure,
but
dude.
For time management, yeah, I have a lot of time to do anything and whatever.
Fantastic. Yeah, same as you. I moved around a lot growing up. And it was always, a lot of people were like, oh, isn't it hard to be uprooted and relocated? I was like, no, it's fun. It's interesting. You get to see new shit. Yeah. It's kind of an adventure in some sense. I don't know, Sapphi, if you want to drop the secret sauce, but before Hogan was like, he said he doesn't know how you make it drop in 1 hour. What's the secret sauce on that? How do you make it drop in 1 hour, dude?
I'm very, very well with flows. So it's like I can just switch it up whenever I can. And I've always been well with just like sound design in general, and just like slapping whatever I can onto it. So it's just like I know what drums I want. I just have a perfect idea in my head of what I want, and so I can execute it pretty quickly because I've been good with flows. I've been good with patterns. I've only just started being doing good with arrangement. But it's sort of like I know what to do and when to do it at the exact time, and that's just how I get stuff done pretty quickly.
Got it.
But you know, I've never been that type of person to like be able to make a song in 2 hours like Primal has done before, and that's something I don't know how he does. He makes 2 drops, does an intro in about like 2 minutes. Because I remember one time I was watching him work on this one IO combat. I should have won that, but nah, I'm joking. But he made this Alice in a Wonderland type garage song in about like 10 minutes.
What was it? Which sample was it?
It was the fan. It was a broken ceiling fan.
I made garage out of that?
Yes.
Ronnie.
Okay. Sapphi knows Hogan's music more than Hogan does. Hogan's getting pissed, actually. He's like, I don't do garage, it's below me or something.
But the melody, he made it in like 50 seconds somehow. I have no clue. But he's also like a pretty fast worker, and I still don't know how he does it.
I just saw FL Studio open up on Primal Rights'
He's checking it right now,
profile.
right?
Trying to find
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I remember this song. I
He's
remember this
checking
song.
it right now.
I didn't make it. I didn't make it into the random 40 selected for actually like submissions, but I wanted to make something anyway. But yeah, so I remember now.
Okay, and it is garage, right? Or okay, very good. Oh, that's rich. That's rich. Yeah, it sounds like for all of you guys, none of you guys struggle that much with time management, despite having different things that you're working on, whether it's a job or school or relocating or whatever it may be. But something you guys did want to bring up on the episode, you guys specifically asked to talk about burnout. So I'm really curious for you guys then, like, how does burnout happen for you guys? Because for a lot of people, it would be through doing too much and then hitting that kind of brick wall. But for you guys, it sounds like more like you can have a good grasp on time and everything. So when does burnout occur for you guys? I don't know. Hogan, you want to go first?
Doing the same shit. Change your flow, your creative, like change the genre. Like, okay, I always did, like, I started doing like dubstep, right? And then I hit up, oh, this was years ago. I remember I was hitting a block. I was like, the hell do I do? And then I picked up rap, like rap music. So then I started making rap beats for a little bit, and my whole like process got switched. I was like, yo, I'm enjoying doing music again. This is cool. And then you kind of go back and forth, or I kind of went back and forth. I did just kind of both. And then I just, I don't know. I started figuring out more how to actually use FL. So then I got inspired again. But just recently, I've been started working on more like melodic music, kind of like, but also has still keeping that glitch element, kind of like more Kismet. One of my favorite artists at the moment, and yeah, it's really helped it's helped me get out of writer's block, because doing the same like genre, like, I don't know, rhythm or drum and bass, it will get tiring at some point, for me at least. So I have to change genre or something. So
it's
going
always,
from
it's always get stale.
Yes. So going from completely like super heavy or like experimental to more like chill and melodic can can change the game completely. Like,
absolutely.
You are good at genres that you don't even know you're good at. Think about that. I have made ambient songs, and they're like some of my favorite IDs that I have. Ambient music.
Completely agree, dude. And it's kind of like Sapphi was talking about, with moving different cities, getting a different perspective. It's the same way with jumping to different creative expressions. It could be genre. I even see some people who jump into other types of creativity, such as making videos or painting, stuff like that, and that's able to give them kind of the boost. In fact, to be honest, like you mentioned, more Kismet, I was doing an Instagram live stream a few months ago with Akuma and more Kismet, and also Hexg was there as well. We talked about this. Actually, this is the exact thing we talked about. We talked about how Akuma was bringing up burnout. She was like, how do you guys deal with burnout? And Moore and me both said that having different creative fields really is beneficial for us, because we're able to make music and then do fashion and then do YouTube or do Instagram, and it always keeps us really fresh. So yeah, I completely agree. I think it's important for us, especially if you haven't tried doing something different, right? Because it's easy for a lot of us to get zeroed in on doing one same thing. But like you said, if you just do the same thing, it's kind of like deplenishes you. So especially if you're doing the same thing, you've got to push yourself to try something else. And sometimes not even pushing yourself, like you said, maybe you're actually good at it, but you haven't tried it before, so you don't even fucking know. So completely agree with that. Nate, jumping over to you then, what causes burnout for you, and then how do you deal with it?
I haven't been burned out in a very long time. I do remember at one point feeling burned out. It was whenever I was working full time at another job, and that I did not like at all. and I was trying to juggle that and then, you know, music as well. And I did not like that job at all. I wasn't fulfilled in that job. And so it may, you know, whenever you're not fulfilled in something you're doing full time, 40 or more hours a week, it can affect you in every other aspect of your life. So it was affecting me in my music. It was affecting me pretty much just in general. And so I was having like writer's block, and I was too stressed to plan out releases properly and stuff like that. And so I mean, just doing something that doesn't fulfill you, I think, is what causes burnout for me. And now that I have a job that is, I'm working full time now still at another job, but I mean, it's an easy job, and I can focus on like my college work, and I can focus on my, you know, music, because you know, they got computers in the room that I work in. And so you know, I'm able to focus a lot more on music. And you know, I'm doing so many different things with music that fulfills me, that, you know, I haven't felt burned out in a long time because of it. So um
That's great.
to answer your question, doing something that doesn't fulfill you will definitely cause you to burn out for sure.
Oh, exactly, Nate. I completely agree, dude. And that's the thing, is that so many people are like, you know, why am I unhappy? Why am I burned out? And I'm like, you don't like your job. You don't have a hobby. You know, all you do is like, you know, watch Netflix or sleep. Like, obviously you're burned out. Like, there's nothing there that's helping you. You know, it's really important for us to build projects for ourselves, or to have hobbies for ourselves, or to be with people that, you know, that replenish us, that bring us more energy. And so if you hate what you're doing, you're gonna be burned out because you don't even like it. So it's really important for us to kind of go through life and eliminate the stuff that we don't care about and add more stuff we do care about. Safi, jumping down to you, is what causes burnout for you, Safi, and then how do you break through it?
I've had the exact opposite of what Primal said. Doing too much is what causes burnout for me. So, for example, I had this one idea where I did many different genres in one. There was tarot, there was rhythm, there was glitch minimal, there was dance, and there was, what was it called? It was a UK Garage for the last drop. And after that song, after making that, there was 2 weeks I couldn't do anything because I had no ideas. I couldn't execute anything. I tried doing the same thing. It was all just kind of overwhelming because I burnt out all of my ideas into one song. And it turned out pretty well, but I just couldn't do anything. And doing like the same thing over and over, that has happened to me once. So this was at the time I was still making trap, and it was just the same process over and over and over again. It was starting to like just not become fun at all. And I was good at it, but it was just like at a certain point where I was like, I just don't want to do this anymore. And if you went on my SoundCloud page, you can see there was just a line between where it was just everything below it was trap, and then everything above it is everything like that's in the dubstep category. So having too many ideas or doing too many ideas at once is what burns me out. And just basically doing too much is what burns me out. And the way I get through it is just doing just small little stuff like at once, like experimenting with even more stuff. Like I remember I did indie pop once just for the fun of it. I tried doing metal, then I tried making Minotaur for the first time, and it actually went well. And that's just basically how I get through. It kind of contradicts itself. Like I get burnt out from doing too much, and then I do more, and it helps me get through it. But it's just sort of like a process that works, and it's something that I probably cannot control either. But it's just I'm a very, I'd say, variant. I could just do like a lot if I wanted to. I could just do whatever if I wanted to. It's just making, what Private said, just making the same thing over and over and over again. Yeah, that can burn you out. But doing too much at the same thing, like, what did I just say? Anyways, just like even doing more too much can also burn you out. So it's like at a point where you need to balance it out, whether you can or you can't do it at the same time or not. Sort of like calming down or relaxing, or just stopping to do something else for once, and not just just doing too much at the same exact time.
Right.
And it's fun, but at the same time, just over time, it'll just run out like naturally.
Yeah, it's always strange to me, Safi, that finding balance in life, because I think that we always got to find balance in life, but sometimes the balance is in the imbalance. So even whenever stuff is like in unbalanced, it's somehow still balanced for us. And there's other time when when it is balanced, but it's unbalanced, and we have to kind of keep reassessing those situations about, am I doing too much or am I not doing enough? And it's always going to be a different answer. So it just takes a lot of self-awareness and kind of experience to recognize, okay, at this point, I need to take a step back. Okay, at this point, I need to go further because I'm not doing enough. And there's no one set answer. It's more of just experience and self-awareness of finding that balance throughout life, because it's always constantly changing. I was going to ask a question to you guys real quick to as a follow-up, because obviously for you, Safi, you're talking about, doing more to break through it, and then for Hogan, you were talking about, going to a totally different field to kind of break through the burnout. I was curious for you guys, do you guys feel guilty, or do you feel bad about dropping projects and like not finishing them, not putting them out there? Do you feel guilty about spending time on projects that are not directly related to the ambition? Obviously for you, Hogan, I'm assuming for a lot of the stuff you do is like a side project, like you haven't released them and you probably don't intend to release them anytime soon. Does it feel just like a necessary part of the process, or do you feel kind of guilty for like spending time on that stuff rather than being on like the hyper focused on the end goal? Hogan, if you want to go first, and maybe Nate and Safi can jump in afterwards.
Well, when it comes to like the more Kismet, Laxity inspired stuff that I'm making, I definitely do want to work on more stuff like that and drop it, and instead of just dropping heavy dubstep or rhythm. But for like lo-fi and like the rap beats that I do, yeah, I mean, I definitely don't plan on ever like officially releasing them or anything, because I don't really have any friends that are rappers or anything. Yeah, that would be nice, but I don't. But so I like to work on them for fun. It's just it helps me still just want to make music and just do something different.
Right. Yeah, I get that. It's all part of the creative process, right? At least you're creating, at least you're staying in the game and staying creative. So even though it doesn't have the purpose of being released, it has the purpose of helping you personally as an artist and guiding you forward. I don't know, Nate, if you want to jump in on that, or Safi, if you want to jump in on that. Do you guys feel guilty about about working on songs you're not going to release, or do you feel guilty about letting go of a project and not releasing it at all? How do you guys approach that kind of thing?
As far as working on stuff that you don't plan on putting out, nah. Because I do it all the time, literally, like all the time. I mean, because you can work on stuff that you don't plan on putting out. You can always use it as like something that you play out live, and it's specifically for that. Not ever gonna release it. So if you want to hear it, you got to come to my show, or something like that.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, not really. I mean, if you have to drop a project to benefit yourself at the end of the day, that's something that you just have to do. I think that's what you were asking there.
Right.
Because I mean, if you've got too much on your plate, again, back to the burnout thing, you got to drop stuff if it means benefiting you. Because at the end of the day, there's so many other people out there that have probably similar skill sets to you that can work on it in your place. So I mean,
prioritize yourself, take care of yourself is the most important thing. Completely agree. Safi, I think you want to jump in as well. Safi, go ahead, drop your thoughts.
I have before, like, I felt bad that I can't use this song or that song, because it's always been it's like half an issue and half like a good thing that I've been improving very, very quickly. Like, even from like December to January, I had a big leap. From January to March, I had a big leap. March to even now, I had a big leap. And it's just sort of like, I realized that if I would release the one song that I made in December that I was proud of in December, but I wasn't proud of now, it sort of be like a letdown. And so I run out of songs to use. And it's sort of like, what do I do? And if I try and start more, then, as I said, doing too much can burn me out, and doing it too fast can also try and burn you out. So it's like, I have to take my time, but at the same time, it's sort of like I'm running out of stuff to use due to like something I can't control, which is improving pretty quickly. And I have learned to be more consistent, but it's sort of like inconsistency with just like having like the same style, having the same skill. Like a lot of producers now, even like Nate or Primal, like they have been consistently releasing stuff of the same skill. It's not a bad thing, but it's sort of like if it's stuff people enjoy, then it's stuff people enjoy. But with me, I haven't been making the same stuff like over time, and it's sort of like you can tell when it's worse and you can tell when it's better. And using newer stuff is pretty cool, but like you can cause like even with artists like QK or as Primal said, more Kismet or Akma, they can have these old songs that are also really good, and also have new songs that are also really good. Like I don't know if you've heard Malignant Volume 2 yet, but I'm pretty sure that Uriel System by QK was an old song, yet it was still enjoyed by a lot of people. But like if I were like Flow, I wasn't proud of it anymore, although I used to be proud of it when they offered to use it. And over time, like with Bursts, I didn't like it at first. That I've like learned to be more like proud of it, because he said he doesn't sign trash, and now that I've realized that over time, he was right. Because I was like, Burst isn't all that bad after all. And,
Yeah. Because Safi and I made a group chat for Echoes issue 3, everybody that was releasing up there, and then Safi and one other person would go in there constantly and they'd say, dude, my track is shit. And I was like, okay, well, why did I sign it? And then they'd be like, man, I don't know, I don't like my track. And I was like, dude, first of all, have you heard any of the other releases on Echoes? I don't sign shit, so stop saying that, stop thinking that about your the content that you're making, because if I signed it, obviously there is what's the word, there is I guess optimism would be the word. That's not the word I'm trying to think of, but that would be,
Sure.
you know, the word. There's obviously some optimism in your release. There's potential. Potential. That's
there
the
we
word.
go. Yeah.
You know, I don't sign anything that I don't think has a ton of potential, and I don't sign anything from somebody that I don't think has potential as an artist. So, you know, I had to correct that. You know what I mean? Like,
Let's go, Nate. I love that, man. I love it that whenever we get to, well, I mean, like, look at yourself though, Nate. Like, you started this label for, you know, up and coming musicians, you know, people who couldn't get signed, and now you're at a place of like, you know, power that you're able to be like, hey guys, I don't sign shit. You know, Echoes Collective, I don't sign shit. Guess what? It's 2021. You know, and like, and give them that boost of confidence because you've made yourself into who you are, and now you're saying, no, you know, step up. You know, step into who you are, own who you are. You're something special. You know. Admit it to yourself. It's huge. I want to touch on networking for a bit, because we kind of talked about that already between Sapphi and Hogan, and also you as well, how they met you, Nate. So I would love if you guys want to drop your thoughts on networking. What are the best places to meet new people right now? What do you guys think are the best places to meet new people? Nate, go ahead.
Discord, Clubhouse, Instagram. Those are my top 3 always. Because Instagram lives, you can join somebody's Instagram live and then they can invite you to join, and then you can meet new people from there. The people that, you know, are watching that Instagram live will meet you, they will want to connect with you, and then you can get connected with them, join their lives, get connected with their audience, and then you just branch out.
Yep.
Discord servers, same thing. You can talk to like a bunch of different communities for a bunch of different people, connect with a bunch of different people's audiences, and then build your own community based on other people's communities. And it's just kind of like a pyramid scheme, you know? Like,
yeah. It is.
and, Clubhouse, you can join people's rooms, you can invite yourself to speak, and then, you know, if they accept you, then you can speak with people who have the same interests as you, because you can choose your own interests with Clubhouse that, you know, meet your interests, so that you can join rooms that are relevant to you, and then you can meet people that are relevant to you and your interests, and then you can talk about your interests, and then just
one thing leads to another.
Yeah, your top 3 apps by far for networking. And I mean, there's so many more, but those are my top 3, dude. For sure.
Hogan, how about for yourself, man?
I don't know what Clubhouse is. and I wasn't gonna say Instagram, but Nate kind of pulled out a good idea there with joining lives and stuff. I mean, that's how I met Ben.
Yep.
So, but
living proof right here. It's working.
Discord 100% yes. I mean, I have 300 plus people in my server that I have never met ever, or most of them I've never met ever, and it's like crazy how many people I've met just from Discord alone. And then they find my YouTube channel maybe from another server, or someone shares that, like, just somewhere, and then they join my Discord, and it's just stuff like that. It's awesome. It's so awesome how like quick Discord, like meeting new people in Discord is.
For sure. Sapphi, how about for yourself, dude? Like, how are you meeting new people? Knocking on doors, or what are you doing?
Top 4: Discord, and Discord. I don't know how to explain in words how much support I had for this entire community. I've had it for 3 years, since 2018. If I never had Discord, I'd never be here right now. I wouldn't be making the stuff that I had right now. I'd probably still be making trap. And just a lot of the good influence that I've had on this just app is just amazing. Like it's how I met Genesis. If you don't know who Genesis is, he's recently released on Roundtable, collab with Yoked on the new Roundtable EP. It's how I met Zero Day. It's how I met Primal. It's how I met all 3 of you. It's how I met Destiny. It's how I met Chronomical. It's how I met 0 Day. It's just how I met a lot of people.
Shout out Chronomical.
Yeah, shout out Chronomical. I would say something right now, but that leaks something important. I'll probably say later.
Drop the exclusive. Let's go.
Yeah, give us some podcast content, dude. Come on.
I know, right? We need the clickbait.
Chronomical, we're gonna leak your unreleased playlist on our podcast. On Ben's.
I guess I'll just say it, because why not? I am working on a new EP right now. 2 out of the 5 songs are done. There'll be a collab with Chronomical, and there'll be a collab with Destiny on there. She's really good at tear out somehow. She's gotten better at me over time. Like, I'm not even joking. Cause I don't know why, cause she hasn't been releasing her best music. That's not a diss, but like.
Oh man!
If she's gonna watch this, and she's gonna come after you.
I'm sending this to her timestamped. She's gonna see it.
I love how casual Sapphi is about his roast. Like, he'll take a shot at someone and then like keep going if nothing happened. Because you did it to Hogan earlier as well. You like called Hogan out, and it was like, but anyway, it's not like he's sitting across from me right now.
But like, yeah, she has like a lot of really good ideas. So does Chronomical, so does 0 Day. Like, a lot of people that I've met, these like insanely talented producers that have helped me get to where I am right now. Like, Primal has helped me over time. Even Nate has helped me over time. He's helped me build my confidence. He's helped me build just like everything. Just like just help me with like organizing stuff, help me with building who I am, help me with like just a lot I can't say in the like matter of like 10 seconds, but just like a lot of good friends that I've met on here. And for some reason, I don't know why a lot of like elderly people are like so off about it, and a lot of people focus more on the bad than the good. And there's just some stuff that you do have to avoid, like the entirety of Twitter.
Fuck yeah.
No, I love what you're saying, Sapphi, because like it's all about people, right? Life is all about people, and so platforms like Discord enable you to meet so many cool people. You know, and granted, there's gonna be some shitty people as well, but for the most part, you know, you focus on the good people. You kind of block the bad people. You know, just don't even check those messages. You know, but there are so many great people on Discord, especially in the creative circle, and so it's a great place to network, get feedback, get criticism, get tips, get advice. You know, gain confidence, find collaborations. If you're a creative, you definitely should be on Discord just to be in that that whole like environment of creativity, you know. And there's so many ways to communicate on Discord as well, whether it's through just messaging, voice chatting, you know, video calling. So it kind of has something for everybody in terms of communication styles, and then just a matter of finding your own community. So yeah, Discord is a powerful one, especially for creatives. But yeah, the other thing I want to ask you guys though real quick is, you know, obviously about meeting new people on these platforms. So whether it's Clubhouse or Instagram live streams or Discord, how comfortable are you guys with first interactions? And are you guys comfortable talking about your projects, talking about yourself, and maybe even kind of like, you know, promoting yourself in some sense in terms of talking about what you do? Is that natural for you guys? Is that unnatural for you guys? How do you guys deal with that? Nate, jump in.
Everybody in here already knows the answer to this question. So I want everybody to say it in the count of 3.
Wait, no, I don't.
I'm gonna say Nate.
So the question is, are you comfortable with meeting new people and talking about yourself and projects?
Right. And for Nate, I feel like yes, the answer is yes.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm
Yeah.
super comfortable with it, dude.
But-
I love meeting new people.
Mhm.
I love talking about myself so much, dude. And
I love it, dude. I love it. Like, yeah, I remember we first time we met, you know, you jumped right in and started giving all the details and everything, dropping mad wisdom.
Yeah.
So
and I love talking about my projects, dude. Like I could go on forever about my projects. But yeah, everything that I'm working on.
mhm.
I'm not one to be secretive because I don't see a reason to. I mean, obviously depending on what we're talking about,
Sure.
but usually I don't tend to be secretive. Like when whenever I think it was literally the first time that we met, whenever I went live with you and I can't even remember who now, but I think it was Sliced and Phil.
Right. I think so. Right.
And then I showed you guys the whole Echoes Issue 3 comp.
you sure did. You sure did. That was so fucking hype. I was like, every day after I heard it, I was like, I can't wait for it to drop. I can't wait for it to drop.
This was like a month and a half prior, I think, to
Yep.
it, wasn't
To
it?
the actual release, it was. Yep.
It
But-
was crazy.
Oh, I love it. And no, it's really cool that you're open about this kind of stuff, Nate, because I'm the same as you. Like, there's hiding it. Who's benefiting from us hiding this information? You know, like, we already have a limited audience already. And if we're hiding this information, like, even less people know about it, you know? It's so much better for us underground musicians to be open about what we're doing, because, you know, then we're building hype among the community that we do have already, and hopefully reaching new people as well, you know, through promotion and stuff. How about for you, Hogan? Like, how comfortable are you with meeting new people and talking about yourself and your art?
Well, Nate sounds pretty damn confident, and it just depends where I am, how confident I am. Like if we're in my server and there's like for example like 7 other people, we're just chatting along, you know, I'll be perfectly fine with like talking about like me and like meeting new people. But if it's in like a server that I don't really know who these people are, or someone there that I am, like if it's a server full of strangers and they like all in the voice chat, I'm most likely not going to join. But if someone like Echo Drone was in there and like if you guys were in there with like a bunch of other strangers, I would probably join. Or if like Joe was in there, then I'd probably join, you know. So it depends on who's there.
Sure.
That I'll be comfortable with.
Gotcha. I find that interesting. Humans are so interesting, right? Because, you know, Hogan talked before about being totally comfortable with showing his face on the internet, but then when it comes to, you know, person-to-person interaction, you know, he's a little more hesitant, and unless he knows somebody there, you know, like humans have different stories. So it's just a matter of like working with yourself and figuring out who you are as a person, making it work for you. Sapphi, you want to jump in real quick, dude? Like, how about for you? Are you comfortable meeting new people, talking about your music and stuff?
I've always been a person that never told. I've been very bad at keeping secrets. Like it was such a hard secret to keep from like issue 3, for example. I wanted to talk about it so bad, and I got permission from Michael Drone to talk about it like with friends and stuff like that. But I've accidentally talked about like a lot of projects I was supposed to keep secret.
Like today. Yes.
Yeah, like very little persuasion to do that too. He was just like, I might need to keep that secret. Then we were like, no, tell us. He was like, okay, guys.
Okay, you pushed me to my limits. I can't handle the pressure. Here's the
Peer
secret.
pressure.
Because I just don't see a reason like not to. Like
Right.
it's like I don't really see a problem with like telling people some projects that I have in the works. and it makes them excited for it. Like surprises are also pretty cool, but like just talking about it, like and like talking to them about it in the process of it, and just getting support over time is personally better for me. And yeah, I've always been a person like that's not scared to show my face or just talk to people overall. Like obviously if there's a bad person, then I'm gonna stay away from them, but I've always been a person that is like open to build friendships like over time. I can be scared of some people, like I remember the only reason why me and Primal collabed on Muscle Memory was because I was too scared to ping him, and DJ Nam did it for me. And, yeah, and Primal just came in and shouted like, sure. I mean, not. I guess.
I was like, yeah.
I
I didn't really care.
Yep, that's awesome. I remember. Yeah, Nate, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I don't know how relevant this is, but this is like back to the subject on building a pod, because I know we were talking about it shouldn't matter whether we hype something up or not, or if we talk about something or not. And I feel like that's mostly true. And I might be curving off topic here, but like I feel like that's mostly true. But I mean, like for example, let's say Sapphi gets a collab with Skrillex, right? Would you rather talk about it for months, or would you rather drop it when you know it's going to come out, no words about it? You know what I mean? But then you got an album coming out. Of course, that's something that you are going to plan out yourself. There isn't like this huge artist involved. So, you have full control over like the album. So, me talking about Echoes Issue 3 on live, I had full control over that album, dude. That was all me. So it's like,
you're accountable to yourself for making it happen.
Yeah, but then you get with a big artist or a big label, like let's say Hogan has a super cool release with Atlantic Records, right?
Sure.
He's not going to go around talking about it for months and months and months, because that's a huge thing that he isn't completely accountable for. There's another huge label involved. They could see him talking about it and say, okay,
that's it,
you're gone because you talked about it before we gave you permission. What is wrong with you? You suck, you're bad. And then they drop you. Or you have a release with a big artist like Skrillex. Primal Rights has a collab with Skrillex, guys, and now that we're talking about it, Skrillex would be like, well, I wanted you to keep it a secret, so bye, no more collab, you're gone. So I felt like I needed to put that out there, because there could be some confusion about that.
You're right, Nate. It's a contextual thing. You definitely have to know the context of the situation and communicate as well. Like Sapphi kind of mentioned, he asked Nate before actually talking about the upcoming release, just to make sure. And so communication is important. Context is important. There's definitely a time and place for many different things. There's not like one set answer. So it's a good point, Nate. It's a very good point to bring up there. Sapphi, I'm sorry, you want to add something, or?
Yeah, I've always asked people, like, before actually talking about it, like, let's say I had a collab with Skrillex, I talked to him about, like, talking to my friends about it before talking to people. But if it's something I have full control over it, then I wouldn't go about it in public, but I'd go about it to people that I do trust with it. And I've told, like, many different people about, like, projects that I'm gonna do. Like I've showed Primal basically my entire ID playlist. I've showed like my friend group my entire ID playlist. I've showed them any like projects that I do have coming up. I've showed them singles. I've showed them just basically anything. But for the stuff that has stuff to do with labels, I have asked if it was confidential information or if it was information that I could talk to my friends about. And that's exactly why I asked Nate before doing it, because I didn't want him to like, because if that
feel
was
disrespected or something. Yeah,
just like obviously if you wanted this project secret, then I'd keep it secret. But I've always been a person that's open to show anybody basically anything, and I've always been a person open to hear anything from other different people. Like I've asked, because when I've been showing some people stuff, I asked if I can hear some of their stuff as well. And if they want to keep it secret, then they can keep it secret. That's not my business to like actually hear or forcefully hear it. If they want to keep it secret, then so be it. It's not my business. So yeah, I agree with what Echo Jones said. Because if it's confidential information, then yeah, it's really important to keep it a secret. But if it's something that you have full control over, then you're more than open to talk about it with anybody that you want to.
And it's a good line to draw, right? Because whenever you're sharing things like IDs that are your own personal project, it's great to share them because you can get feedback and more direction and tips on how to improve the track, right? But whenever you're talking about like a label release, there's probably going to be a marketing plan in place, and so you don't want to mess up the marketing plan in terms of, you know, what's the rollout for this piece of content, this piece of content. It's a lot more organized and scheduled whenever you're talking about a label release. Speaking of labels, I actually want to go there next. Let's start off with this. What's the worst way to approach a label? It's the worst way to approach a label.
Oh my god. I know exactly one, and I'm not gonna name drop, but Echo Joe knows exactly who I'm talking about.
I think I know too.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I was hesitant. And look, I was hesitant on bringing it up. I actually was planning on avoiding it at all costs. But since you said that,
It kind of gives the segue. So, yeah, no need to name drop, no need to name and shame, but it's definitely important to get some messages out there so people know what they're doing wrong. And that's kind of why I brought this up, because we don't want people to be in the dark about like, why is it not working? Well, let's give them a chance. This is why it's not working. Nate, give us the insight.
Okay, so first of all, I'm sure this person's going to watch this video and know exactly who I'm talking about because I'm talking about them. So, to clarify, there's, I respect that you see my label as a goal. That's what I want, but there's a way to approach it, and we're gonna talk about that today. So, I had somebody who submitted to my label. They submitted through the Google form that I once had, and after they submitted, they I can't remember if they joined my server before or after they submitted, but they were sending me a message, hey, did you see my submission? They would go to my server, hey, have you checked out my submission yet? Go to my DMs the next day, hey man, have you seen my submission yet? I submitted to your form. Go to my server, hey man, just wanted to see how the submission was going, did you accept or deny it? And this was a daily thing, and I was ignoring it because I'll get to it when I get to it. That should be like,
Understood.
It should be something, yeah, it should be understood. But then it got to the point where they were asking other people to message me for them. And that was the line. I sent them a denial email because you got to respect people's boundaries when you're submitting to a label. They will get to it when they get to it. There is no need to harass anybody in a label about a release. And I've been a part of a lot of horror stories myself. That's just the prime example. I've dealt with it so much. It's annoying. And it's like, I don't want to seem like I'm not grateful for these people because they do see my label as a goal of theirs. They really want to be on it. They're taking that, they're taking the worst approach for it, but they want to be a part of it. So I can respect them for that. But at the same time, a label is going to be very, very hesitant on accepting you if you approach them in that way. And that goes for any label. It's not just me. Because I've heard so many horror stories, like people stalking down A&Rs, stalking down label managers, just to get a response about their submission that they would have gotten if they had just been patient and waited. So yeah, that's my story there.
No, it's important to keep in mind, right? Because there's that line between being proactive and then harassment, right? And I think obviously I'm kind of separate from the situation, so I don't know it completely, but whenever you're doing that kind of approach, it becomes desperate, and it's also signaling your work ethic. You're not someone I want to work with because you're overbearing and you're expecting more than me that I can give you. It goes back to what we talked about last time with like labels having a certain marketing plan. Stuff is going to happen when it happens, and so I'm not on your schedule. If you have time to message me every single day about hitting your release, you don't understand how busy I am with everything I'm doing, you know? And so you need to be spending your time building your own social media. You need to be spending your time putting out solo releases. You need to be spending time getting better at music. You know, you can't depend on one label to give you everything you need. You got to go through a process of kind of like, in some sense, earning the release, right? Because like, you know, if it's good enough, it's going to get recognized. If it's good enough, it's going to get heard by somebody. And harassing someone's only going to lower your chances of getting accepted, because you don't want to work with someone who's desperate, and you don't want to work with someone who has so much time that they're able to message you every single day. If you have time to message every single day, you should probably be in the studio getting a little bit better at production, or putting out media on social content to build your own brand, which is what Nate did with his label of doing it for himself. You know, he started a label because he didn't have a label to release on, you know, and so it's
yeah, and the funny part about it is that they messaged me so much that I did not even listen to their submission. Actually,
right.
I just sent them an denial email and then went on my way, because I mean, if they were to the point where they were messaging me, other platform, messaging me. Okay, dude, hit this guy up for me, because I want him to respond to me. You know, if you're at that point, I don't want to deal with it.
Right,
So
right.
just, you know, you move on somewhere else. Because go ahead, man. I was done with my sentence there.
My bad. But
No, I was saying I was done with my sentence. You can continue. You can...
The submission was really good. It was just that I do agree, like the way that they went about it wasn't the best way to go about it. I don't want to make them seem like they're the worst person in the world, because they did like go about it in the probably one of the worst ways possible. But like, you know, I still have like full respect for them. It's still a very good friend of mine, still a very good producer. It's just sometimes you can make mistakes, in that you can learn from it.
Yep.
I'm not gonna say like, oh, you should look back on this like every single time. Oh, you're the worst person in the world because you did this. Like, people make mistakes, and you know,
and they're young.
Yeah.
I hate to cut you off, but they're young. They're new to this whole thing, and that's why I didn't go to them and be like, "Yo, can you stop?" Because I understand they're young. They're, you know, just getting into it. They're enthusiastic about it. So, you know, it's annoying at one point, and I know I seem over aggressive about it, you know, because it was annoying to me. But at the same time, you know, you got to understand that these people are new to it, and they're super enthusiastic, and they just want to be a part of a community. And, you know, they've got friends releasing with me, so they think, okay, well, I can just, you know,
that's
hit
my
them
foot in the
up
door. Exactly. Right. Yeah. Like you said, Sapphi, it is a learning process, right? And so it's kind of this process of learning what's working, what's not working, you know. And so yeah, this is a lesson for the books. You know, this is probably not the best way to go about it. Doesn't mean you can't keep making music. Doesn't mean you can't submit a demo later on in the future. You know, you just got to keep learning. You know, making mistakes is part of the process. You know, fucking up and then learning from the fuck up and, you know, improving. So, you know, lesson learned, move on, next one. Best of luck to the artist, by the way. Best of luck to you. I'm not sure what your name is, but I hope that you do, you know, find a label release eventually. Just keep working on the craft, dude. Don't give up. Don't give up. Road is long. So for you guys, I want to ask, how important is it to do a label release? Yeah, let's go down to Hogan for this one. Hogan, how important is being released on a label to you, dude? What's the importance of a label? What does it mean to you?
So when I started making music, it was like my number one. It's like I wanna join somewhere where I can get some more recognition and hopefully like meet some new people to help me out along the way. Now that I have more of a following, I can self-release music. I dropped a song called Mind State. It's doing really well.
Fucking banger.
Thank you, dude. It hit it was for me hitting 1,000 followers on SoundCloud, and I think that was from definitely the label releasing Eliminates Audio Combat, my YouTube channel. Even though I don't really, I mean, I put my music up on there, but people are mainly there for reaction videos. But anywho, yeah, so I can self-release more music now, and I'm grateful for that, instead of just always relying on a label to do that for me. No offense to Echoes or any other label that I'm a part of.
No,
right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, self-release EP late June. Sorry.
Self-releasing is it's underrated. People, I think people depend too much on having that buy-in or that cosign. But to be honest, like a lot of the process is just you doing your own shit and then figuring out along the way. You can't depend on someone to give you the break-in. You've got to break in by yourself first of all, and then whenever something else is gonna happen, it's gonna play out in the future. Safi, how about for yourself, man? Especially coming from it as a relatively younger producer, how important is being released on a label to you? What kind of relevance does that have in your opinion, Safi?
When I do look for labels to release on, the main thing I do focus on is befriending people. Like, for example, from outside, I befriended Primal. I befriended like a lot of people I can't name right now because I don't have them in, it's a lot to think about. But
Name off the top of your head.
Don't have the names on the top of your head, but people you've like you mentioned already though, Safi, being on Discord and all the different cool people you've met there, befriending people is a great start.
Like I befriended Primal from outside. I befriended Echo Drone from Echoes. I befriended a lot of people from issue 03, like Virus, and so many other people just from that label by itself, or just from outside that itself. So I do look for good relationships and good friendships when releasing on a label, and I don't really focus on just like how popular that one label is. But if I do have an opportunity to get on a bigger label like Echoes or Full Flex Audio or Baseway or Bass Planet Collective, then I'll take it. But if there's like terrible people there, or like just a lot of drama going on all at once, then I don't want to be there. Like no matter how popular that one label is, if it doesn't have a good relationship with its members, or if they're just like bad owners or bad people, then I don't want to be there. Just like no matter how popular it is, if you're not a good caretaker, what was that? But if you're not a good caretaker of that label, then I just don't want to be there. Or if you have ongoing drama or even more, or like accusation of like serious stuff, then I don't want to be there. I don't want to be involved in it and stuff like that.
Right.
And
you gotta think about the long term, about how this stuff's gonna affect you in the future. Obviously, it might have an immediate payoff, but the future could end up being negative because of the connections you make and the reputation you build as well. It's a good point, Safi. You definitely got to take care of yourself and make the best choices for your career, not just immediate, but also thinking long term as well. Nate, how about for you, man? Like obviously, coming to the place where you are now with the amount of respect and acclaim that the Echoes Collective you've built up for the Echoes Collective. What are your thoughts on labels at this point right now in terms of self-releasing versus having a label release?
That's such a complex question because it really depends on the type of music that you're putting out, and how engaged your audience is with the music that you're putting out. But I think labels are starting to become less and less important, especially with the cannot think of words, the position that music is in right now. Because I have only been self-releasing for I don't even know how long now, and if you shoot over to my SoundCloud, you can see that all my releases are doing very, 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 very well, which is cool, really awesome. But at the same time, I've built that up. I built up that audience engagement. I built up what's the word? I've been improving myself for years and years and years now. I've been, improving my craft for years, and, building up Echoes, building up, everything. So, I've hit that point where I can independently release something and, people will pick it up, people will share it out, word of mouth gets around. Not to sound cocky, because this is literally what I was told, so I'm not trying to sound arrogant here, but I've been talking to a bunch of promoters over the past couple of days, and they've even said that they are consistently hearing my name, constantly, because word of mouth is just getting out so much about my music and my stuff. I was talking with a promoter in Charlotte, and he said that all he's heard is my name. He hears my music played out, every time he goes to a venue, it's always, yo, have you heard of Echo Drone? Yo, have you heard this song by Echo Drone? And it's like, it blew my fucking mind when I heard it, dude, because I didn't know that I was that relevant. I just knew that, I was putting music out and people were liking it, but I didn't know it was to that extent. So back to the question, I don't think label releases are necessary. I think they help a lot, especially if you're still trying to grow your brand. But once you feel like you have reached your point where you are successful, then they're not important at all. All that matters is that you put in the work for your releases and you push them out to the best of your abilities.
Yep. I completely agree, Nate. I completely agree. Yeah, it's with the internet, we've kind of broken down a lot of the walls that used to be there, the barriers that used to be there. And so it's completely viable to be doing it by yourself, especially with all the social media platforms that we have that are free to use. If your song goes viral on TikTok, boom, you've made it. If you've been putting out videos for a year on YouTube, Primal's making it, you've done the Echoes Collective, like, Sapphi's relatively young, but he's already got, releases on the Echoes Collective. Like, doing it for yourself always leads to a good place because you're in complete control of the choices you're making and kind of guiding your path up to your own choices. So yeah, completely agree on that. We shouldn't be caught up too much on getting a cosign so much as putting in the work to develop who we are and building our own audience, building our own platforms for ourselves. I think we pretty much moved to the end of the episode. We covered a lot of the stuff we want to talk about already. I think just in summary, I think that's actually a good summary already. The kind of the line that brings us all together is that you do what you want to do. You fucking get started. You keep grinding. You keep developing. You keep, building relationships on the internet and real life. And, along that way, you can really find something that's meaningful to you. You really step into your own success. So get started, fucking develop, and eventually stuff can lead to a great place over time. So I want to ask you guys if there's any last closing thoughts you're going to drop to the audience as we kind of wrap the episode up. Hogan, let's go to you first of all, man. Anything that's on your mind in closing?
The only thing that's on my mind is the bathroom. I have to piss. So I'll be right back.
Take your time.
I'm sorry.
We'll take a pause.
Think about some closing messages, though. I appreciate you doing this, man. I really do.
Do not cut that out, by the way.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to, but that's legendary, so I'll put it on the B-roll, no doubt about it. Well, Nate, we'll just take a pause and wait for Hogan to come back. And Sapphi looks like Sapphi stepped out for a minute as well.
Yeah, Sapphi's been gone for a hot minute now.
I know, right? Maybe it was a bathroom break for as well. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
You can't even message though because he's not even on his computer, so it wouldn't even help to message like, Sapphi, where the fuck are you?
Yeah. Well, I guess for now, I'll let you. I want to let you know some stuff that I have accomplished over the past few days because I haven't talked to you in the past few days.
Exactly.
Have you heard of Indefinite Recordings by any chance?
Of course, that's like Akuma's label she does with her buddy. Yeah. Right? Am I mistaken?
It's not Akuma's label. It's Definitive's label.
Definitive's label. I thought that it was a collaboration with Definitive and Akuma together.
I don't think so. I think Akuma's on their team. I don't know for sure. I still have yet to talk with their team that I am now a part of.
Oh shit! What?
Yeah,
bruh. Congratulations.
So I'm doing press and media relations for them right now. So basically just pitching their music out to blogs and stuff.
Dude.
And that's cool.
That's
pretty
super
sick.
cool. Congratulations. I want to hear about how that happened.
Okay, so basically, so fun fact. Okay, Safi, you brought up Base Planet.
Wait.
I have been helping.
Actually, I'm so sorry, Nate. Let's wrap up the episode real quick, and then you can get into the detail afterwards. Okay.
Yeah.
So, guys, let's do a quick. So, Safi, what we're doing is we're giving a quick summary, anything that's lastly on our minds. Anything you guys want to say in closing, Safi? So, we're gonna go with Hogan, and then Safi, and then Nate. You can go last to close out the episode. All right. So, anyway, as we kind of close the episode, I'm gonna ask the guys if there's anything they want to say in closing. Hogan, we'll go to you first of all. What's your closing thoughts on your mind to the audience listening?
I just want to say thank you for having me on this. This is really fun to do. And look out for an EP the end of this month.
All right, fantastic, Hogan. We cannot wait for that to happen. And then Sapphi, if you want to go next. And then Sapphi, what's on your mind in closing, dude? Any thoughts on your mind to the audience watching?
Thank you for watching, obviously. I'd like to support basically everybody here, and just thank you for listening to it, what I had to say.
Very good.
Yep, expecting Primal. Expect literally anything from Echoes, because I know Nate is he has a lot of stuff up his. Even if I don't know it, I know it. Like, I don't know exactly what it is, but he's just a very smart person overall. And so are the three of you. Thank you for inviting me here. I appreciate it a lot. I was not expecting this at all. Because when you were talking about it on the Instagram Live, I didn't think that you were serious, but here we are.
Sappy, you don't know who you're playing with, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Sappy, I'm so glad you made time for this, dude. Thanks for jumping on and sharing your thoughts. Nate, we'll go to you for the last, like, what's on your mind in closing?
Well, first of all, Safi, appreciate the kind words, dude. So my final words now. There's, I guess, just some words of wisdom here, to close off with. So, I was talking about how, I've built up everything and, I'm doing well on my own. That's, the goal. That's the end goal for everybody, is to be able to do stuff on their own, but takes a long time and a lot of work. And it's very, very demotivating. I remember for the longest time, I did not think. Goodbye, Sophie. I did not think. I think he died. Anyways, yeah.
So-
I didn't think I was gonna make it. I didn't think I was gonna be doing music as a job. I did not think that music was gonna be something that I would be able to do. And after a lot of not giving up, after a lot of hard work and then pushing through the doubts, I am where I am now, and I still have a long ways to go, but I'm doing very well, I think. And I guess I'm doing really well. I'm not making a ton of money from it, but once I start doing shows, that'll be a different story. So that'll be cool. I'm doing shows, guys, so I might be making money, like off of what I love to do, and that's the end goal. So yeah, I'll even applaud myself there, because that's like pat myself on the back, because and that might seem cocky, but a lot of hard work went into it, and anybody can accomplish it. You just got to focus on improving yourself. You got to focus on building yourself up to be the best person you can be, without disregarding everybody else, because a lot of people make that mistake of burning bridges, disregarding everybody else, because you think if you only associate with people that'll benefit you, then you'll be able to make it. I don't want to go on a tangent. So I'll just end it there. Keep working, keep the passion alive, do what you have to do to keep the passion burning, and just don't give up, because you're gonna have a lot of lows before you have your highs. So
fucking persevere. Everyone, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this episode. It's been an incredible honor for me to meet Echo Drone, Nate. We've done multiple live streams together on Instagram, his page, my page. We've done Clubhouse streams. Now we got to make this happen on YouTube. So it's just been an incredible honor to meet Nate and understand his mindset, the way he approaches business and music and life. It's been so cool to learn from him and to interact with him. And then also obviously to now have met Hogan and Safi as well, to sit down and have this group conversation. I'm always excited to meet new artists, new creatives, people who've been in the game for a minute. Just people creating and expressing themselves is just so exciting to see. There's so much fucking talent in the scene. Underground, mainstream, doesn't matter. So it's cool to have these interactions, to document these moments, especially before stuff unfolds, because you never know when stuff's gonna fucking pop off, for these guys. So please, by all means, follow Echo Drone, follow Primal Rights, and follow Safi, because their journeys are just beginning, and there's so much more yet for them to achieve. More happiness to come, more recognition to come, more fulfillment to come. Everybody, thank you again for watching. I will see you in the next episode. Take care and have a great night.
Y'all been